Well, hello everybody, and welcome to a brand new video. We're trying something a little different today. We've got a new piece of audio equipment that I'm hoping will get rid of some of the horrible echo that there's been in my previous videos. I know you just couldn't get enough of that amazing audio. It was not due to cost that I delayed buying this microphone. It was actually due to not being able to figure out the technology and figure out what I needed. That was the hardest part, and I ended up buying, this is the third microphone I've actually bought. If you watched my bloopers in my Chrysler Europe video at the end, that's me trying something out that didn't work. And then I bought a Shure MV7 microphone, which is great for telecasting, and that didn't work. And then I bought this Yeti microphone that everybody on YouTube is using, and I can see why. And that didn't work because I had the wrong adapter. And then I bought another adapter, and that was the wrong adapter. And then I took that back the same day, which is today, and the lady there was very nice, and she found the right adapter. And I think it's working, because I've tested this a couple of times, so it seems to be recording pretty good audio. So, fingers crossed, this is going to work out, and hopefully I can sound a whole lot better for all of you out there, and you don't have to listen to the horrendous audio that I used to have. Okay, so let's get to the real reason for this video, which is this book has just arrived in the mail, and I was hoping to share this with you after opening it. I'll be honest, it's a little bit smaller than I was expecting it to be. I was expecting like a proper full-sized picture book, because this is a picture book. It's supposed to be kind of old, like a classic, and that's what I was expecting. And this is much smaller than I was expecting. And also it's kind of light, so I'm a little nervous that maybe I've been sent the wrong thing, but there's only one way to find out, so let's open her up and take a look. Okay. Alright, this is a proper book package. I like how they've done this. This looks like a standard size, but it's like a novel size book. So this is either going to be kind of interesting and surprising in how it looks, or it's going to be the shortest video that I've ever done, because if it's incorrect, then there isn't really much else to show. Okay, other side. Alright. Oh, well, this looks way easier to open than it is. More tape! Ugh. Tape. Okay. Okay, it's opening like this, like so, and then fold over, and inside we will see, hopefully, I'm scared. What is it? Is it right? Is it wrong? It is! Yes! Okay, it's really small. I'm a little surprised by that. But, okay, well, there's the cardboard. We'll just make that disappear. And they've kind of put it in a little plastic bag for us, so you can't tell what it is yet, but a little more unpackaging here. All right, so what we have here is Cars of the World. Cars of the World by JD Scheel, or Scheel, yeah, Scheel is probably how you pronounce that, JD Scheel. And this book was published, please stand by, JD Scheel, illustrated by Werner Hanke, and translated by D. Cook Radmore. So apparently Scheel, I'm going to assume that's German, so this must be a German publication. Originally, English translation copyright, 1963. So Cars of the World, JD Scheel, 1963 this book is from. So this is a classic. This probably going to be one of the oldest books I have now, and I thought I would buy this and share it, do a little video on it. So a quick preview of what we've got on the cover. It looks like the rear of a Citroen ID there, and Can I identify some of the other cars? Oh, that's all these old timers. I don't recognize any of them except for the Renault, the blue Renault in the bottom. The Mercer. I think this is a Mercer. This orangey yellow car right there, I think, is a Mercer, but maybe I'm wrong. And what's in the middle? Is that an SS Jaguar? Could be, maybe, not sure. What else do we have? Well, a Ferrari, obviously, on the bottom. What would you say? The left? The bottom left? I think, yeah, for you it's the left. For me. Jaguar Mark 10, 420 or 4 something, Mark 10 on the bottom, and the Ford Taunus that I think we've seen in another Cars of the World video that I did with the book that's by Oleslager, the artist Oleslager. And let's see, there's a Rolls up there, and Didion Bouton, is that what that is? The green car, I'll point them out. Let's see, the Rolls is the one on top, you can recognize that. And then one car skipped down below that, which is this one, is Didion Bouton. It's what it says. That's the only reason I knew. I don't know what all the rest of them are. But being that this is a 1960s book, the majority of the cars are going to be from the the first half of the 20th century, since the second half hasn't happened yet at the time of publication. So, let's go take a look at it. All right. Okay, Cars of the World. I apologize for the horrible lighting. It's cloudy and rainy today. It's just given for spring. Emily's decided to join us. So we're going to take a look inside here. It's actually the first time I've looked inside this book. It's a mystery to me. I don't know what to expect. So let's open it up and take a look. JD Scheel, 1963, inside the cover. The publication page that I was showing, that I was looking at earlier. And he's written a foreword with some neat looking signatures, some fingerprints, and it looks like, those are just these are still true as well, all of these abbreviations except for Soviet Union, obviously. Okay, so early history of the automobile, 1771, the Cugnot. Some of these things look a little bit like, really? Trefethick, 1803. Look how high, how do you get up there? Wow. Okay, steam powers, vehicles. Oh, Bollè's carriage from 1873. A few other really early automotive experiments. Page 19. Oh, I have to be kind of careful. The binding seems to be delicate here. I better be careful. So, okay, they're doing it by country. The first country is Austria with the Marcus carriage of 1875, built entirely out of wood with a one-cylinder water-cooled 4-cycle engine. I wonder if that's the first 4-cycle engine-powered car. Austria, though, by the way, it's like this is the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It's not, it's like much, much bigger area than where Austria is today. So there's that little piece of history, and here's color. Okay, wow, this is really neat. So you have the Austro Daimler up there, and some that I recognize. This Denzel, I think I showed a picture of that in my Cars of the World video from the previous one. This is Cars of the World also, so it was a different Cars of the World. But there's the Steyr 500, which is like a Austrian-built Fiat 500 from 1960. Some more Austrian cars. Oh, they're saying the Porsche 356. This is Porsche number 1. Neat. From 1948. So who was the artist here? Don't know. But that picture of Porsche behind the steering wheel is, I think, kind of famous. I know it looks familiar. I've seen it before. Steyr 36 Streamliner. Then Holden. So now we're into Australia. Okay, so Australian cars. The first Australian car. Then Holden's. Holden was its own company before it was taken over by GM, wasn't it? And then Czechoslovakia. Look, it's an Aero Minor. Now, we've seen this car several times before. Here it is again, 1947. It says backbone chassis, so that must be some kind of three-dimensional structure. two-stroke, two-cylinder, 616cc. The Jawa from before the war. I think I've shown this before as well. I'm not sure, or it was the Aero. There's the Skoda 1100. Now Skoda is just owned by Volkswagen, but back in the 40s and 50s, they designed their own cars entirely on the other side of the Iron Curtain. The Type 77 Tatraplan 603. Pretty neat. I like that. What's next? Germany. So what cars do we recognize? Well, there's DKW's front. I think that's the front from 1928. The Wanderer. We've seen this before. Wanderer and Audi, so the Auto Union cars. DKW Meisterklasse. And then the post-war, 1952. This is, with this grille shape though, actually looks a little more like the version built on the other side of the wall in East Germany, which was called IFA over there. I wonder if that's in this book. And the DKW Junior is the new car. And this goes up to 1963, so BMW, they have quite an extensive offering. Their new cars at the time was the Isetta bubble car and the four-door. I love this actually. It's not a four-door, it's a two-door, but it has, front and rear door, so a single front door and a single rear door on the other side. I don't know why they showed it from that perspective, but... And the little BMW 700 mini car, a rear engine, I think, and then the 507, which got cut off a little bit. Aerodynamic Hansa from... with the big diamond on it. So this is when they were owned by Borgward. The Hansa 500 of 1934, which has a two-stroke, two-cylinder. It's a twin-cylinder. Hansa 1100. We may have seen this before as well. And then the Goliath 1100, Borgward Isabella. The Goliath GP 700, the little Lloyd. Oh, I love these. And of course the Arabella down here, Lloyd Arabella, 1961. So this is Carl Borgward. I'll have to read that sometime. Mercedes-Benz. These two guys started it all with it's called the Strahlladwagen. This is dated 1889, and it has four wheels. The three-wheeler was the original. Where's that? There it is, the patent motor carriage from 1886. This is pretty famous. I think I've seen this in a museum in Toronto. They made a few of them. I'm pretty sure I've seen that car. That was a long time ago. So, more Benz, Mercedes. Then we have Glas. Hans Glas's offerings, the little Gogglebmobile. It looks kind of different than... I have a model of this, and the really early version of the Gogglebmobile is a bit different. They changed it in 55 or 56 NSU with the Prins and the Sport Prins. I think this will use the Wankel engine. Here's the Wankel experimental rotary engine that they were working on. And then they also licensed it to a bunch of companies, including Mazda. It's not made anymore. They stopped making the rotary engine. But that's a neat diagram of it. Opel. Yeah, Opel. Porsche. So here's some early Porsches. 1600 from 1961. So the 911 is not out yet. Then here's some history on Volkswagen. Oh, look how they show you how they changed the rear of the car. 39 to 53 to 57 and 57 to 62. There's what it looks like in 1961. A convertible. Finally getting away from the Beetle with the 1500. The Mako 500, we've seen that before. The Kleinschnitzer F125, it says FN25 here. One of the baby cars, which did not survive. But actually, these are still around. People really love these now. And then the Gutrod Superior has been totally forgotten about. Denmark, Spain. What does Spain have? The Pegaso. The Pegaso Z102 and Z103 sports car is a real interesting thing. And then the little microcars that a lot of people were driving around in those days in kind of the 50s and 60s, which I mentioned in Chrysler Europe, because Chrysler bought a company in Spain called Barreiros. He was just sort of starting out at the time, but they built the Dodge Dart and sold it there, which didn't really make sense, because this is the kind of car, especially these. I first went to Spain in 1994, I think. I went there on a school trip. I was in high school, and I actually saw several of these kind of cars, the Seat 500s, and some of them were four-door. Like, they were still around back then. Fiberglass body. Oh, I'd love to have one of those. Another Panhard, special-bodied Panhard. That's a little two-cylinder engine, but if you look at some of my videos, you'll see my Panhard 24 and the lovely detailed engine. More from France. There's Panhard proper with the Dynamique and the Dina 1948. PL17, which I've gotten a model of coming here soon. The Dyna Z, but they're calling it the PL5. 1945? That's not right. Okay, well, there's a mistake. It's fun to spot mistakes in these books. Peugeot, there's all kinds of, Peugeot's still around, so now they're part of that new merger. Neat. Some Delahaye sports car before they had to kind of fold up and just keep making trucks after that. And then we have Ford France. There's the Vedette. The 49 Ford made in France. Didn't last very long. Hotchkiss-Gregoire. J.A. Gregoire, who also designed that Panhard Dina prototype. He's one of the leaders of the French automobile engineering. His brilliant front-wheel drive designs have been used by several makes. He has had considerable influence on general developments by his invention of the homokinetic link and by fundamental scientific work. The model shown here was built by Hotchkiss. So it's a flat 4, I think possibly air-cooled, and they didn't make a whole lot of these. I don't know much else about it. I'll have to do some research again. Okay, that's pretty neat. Lovely illustrations in here. So, Great Britain. Here we are with AC and Ullard. Never heard of that before. But Elvis, we know them, and we know the very famous DB4 Aston Martin. Doesn't say Aston Martin here for some reason, but okay. Some British Fords, Hillmans, and Humbers. Sir William Lyons, who we know from Jaguar. And there's the E-Type Jag. Brand new that year. And that car was a sensation right away. All the actors and actresses wanted it. They've tried to revive it, but I don't think they'll ever recapture the magic of the original. Some more MGs. Morris. Riley 1.5. That's another favorite of mine. This is actually a pretty nice book. So you have Singer here. There's some of the later Singer cars. This is before that's the Roots, after they got taken over by Roots. I always like to look at the last page. You have things on racing, some illustrate. Oh, I love that. I just love that painting. That's really neat. So, stuff on racing. Artwork. I feel so inspired looking at this. All right, last page. What do they got? Here it is. The world land speed record at Bonneville Salt Flats. But it's still some really neat stuff. This is some great, I love the perspective of this. That's just beautiful. So there it is. Cars of the World, JD Scheel. It has an index at the end and a little afterword. That's a nice little book. And this was not expensive at all. It is much smaller than I expected, but it's actually kind of neat. I do like it quite a lot. I hope you enjoyed that little quick look. If you did, go ahead and throw a like on the video and possibly subscribe to the channel to see more of these. And I'll see you again soon. Take care.